All right, and we are live. What up, players? Welcome to another episode of Player Life. It is Friday, the 16th of July here in Tokyo, Japan. Morning time. Seems like a nice day out, nice hot day. Yeah. What episode is it? It is episode 144. God damn. Getting up there indeed. But yeah, so today I want to talk about you know the signs that a chick is wasting your time, or not interested in you. Um, Far too many, in the past I've wasted far too much time, messaging girls like that are just not interested in me. And it would have just been good to know if someone had said, just, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, what the hell are you doing? If chicks are, if a chick is interested in you, she's gonna message you back. Like, I mean, she's gonna comply. It's pretty simple, but a lot of guys just don't notice the simple facts. But before I get into that, yesterday was interesting. Had an interesting day yesterday. Uh, just another successful pickup, but it was a nice pickup. I had a nice pickup yesterday because she was so hot. Obviously when I approach girls, I'm only approaching them if they're hot, but this one was particularly hot, like my very much my type. I would say for me it was my 10 out of 10. Yeah, that kind of shit is subjective, but she's undoubtedly hot. But it's just a thing. For me, this girl was like 10 out of 10. And yeah, just all the boxes were ticked, like boom. Like, but Virance in house. What is up, brother? What is good? So yeah, yesterday, same day lay, cold approach. So I was just going out for, it was around 7 p.m. I was like, I was at home. I had no real plans, and I was like, I'm gonna go out and get some sushi, some kaiten sushi, rotation sushi. There's a I live in a real nice location where I'm like a 10-minute walk from a nice little busy little area with shopping mall and big apartment blocks and nice courtyards with coffee shops and all. It's a pretty good it's a good pickup area, actually. It's the I Ironically, I don't actually do a lot of pickup there. I usually go somewhere. I leave my area for some reason, but I like to get out and about. But yeah, it's actually a very good pickup area, but I don't actually do that much pickup there. But yesterday, I'm on my way. I'm planning to go and get some sushi, and instead, when I'm coming up to the area where there's a sushi shop, there's this courtyard, right, and a coffee shop, and I've gotten quite a few numbers from outside that coffee shop because there's like tables outside. There's seating area outside the coffee shop. It's a very good approach spot, and there's often hot girls sitting there. But yeah, yesterday was just like a perfect approach. A really really hot girl just sitting alone, looking at her phone. She didn't. Uh, did she have earphones? No, yeah, she had earphones in. They all have earphones in. It's funny when guys ask me, "Oh, if they're wearing earphones, should I approach them?" It's like, of course you should. They're pretty much all going to be wearing earphones these days. But yeah, so made the approach. Since she was sitting outside the coffee shop, I asked her, "How's the coffee in this place?" I don't overthink things. It really doesn't matter what you say, but she, I waved at her first, and then she took out the earphones, asked her, "How's the coffee in here?" and she said, "Oh, it's all right," or she said it's good, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But it was the way that she responded immediately. Very very responsive, very responsive. Kind of giggling, kind of looked, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for those kind of, positive, receptive vibes immediately. Like, I've always said this. I know, I know immediately whether I'm not getting laid. That's my skill. Like, it's. I don't know if I'm gonna get laid. You never really know until you do it. But you a lot of time within the first few seconds, I'm able to tell whether this girl is like, I know instantly that I'm not this girl is not interested. She's not going to you know uh I'm not gonna fuck her. It's a waste of time, so I'll just like abort the myself out of the situation. um but what was I gonna say? Yeah, she was very receptive. Had some small talk. Just but I was free, right? So I was like, I always talk about doing these 2 minute, like, uh, in and out, get in, say your piece, but build a bit of rapport, get the number, sometimes I get the number, the Instagram, whatever it may be. But I was like, right, I'm free. I'm gonna, I'm gonna go for food. I'll try and invite this girl with me. You know, I immediately thought that, when I saw her, I was thinking, right, I'll try and bring this girl for food. I don't usually, like I say, I say, guys, oh yeah, I don't bring girls for dinner on the first date. But it's different when if you're actually going to eat yourself. Like, if it's an immediate date, you can kind of kill two birds with one stone. I was hungry. My mission was to go and eat. I wasn't actually planning on picking up a girl. Um, but you know, when you're living the player lifestyle, you're always like tuned in. Like, if there's a hottie around, you're gonna approach. Oh man, this girl was really really sexy, man. But yeah, uh, Gabriel E in the house. What's up? Viren says, love the video you posted in chat, and I'm glad you liked it. But yeah, so um, yeah, after a bit of small talk, I asked her what she did during the day. She said she just talked with her friends on the phone um, all day because it was so hot outside. Um, and by the way, this girl was like 21 years old. Like, man, she was just like fucking tasty. But yeah, so I said, let's go and I said, what are you doing now? No. What are you doing now? And she was like, oh, I'm gonna go and eat some ramen. So, like, perfect. She was actually going to eat some ramen. And I said, well, do you like pizza? And she was like, oh, pizza daisuki. She loves pizza. Very receptive. So I said, how about let's go and eat some pizza? And she was pretty much immediately agreed. Or like, Doko, she said, like, where? I was like, oh, I know a good place. I know a good place. Let's go. And um, uh, the funny thing is, I knew this place, right? And it's about, I could leave my front door and I'd be there in like a minute. Um, but like I said, it was around 7 p.m. And they still have these kind of dumb rules in Japan where I think they close early. So I knew they close early, but they do takeouts or whatever. So I knew the spot where there's the pizza spot right beside my place that's doing takeouts. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna bring this girl there, and and then since they're only doing takeouts, we're gonna we're gonna eat the pizza at my place. So yeah, it worked out pretty perfectly. We walked to the spot. Took about 10 minutes to get there. Just obviously building rapport with her. Having a good, making her comfortable, chatting with her on the way there. trying to make her laugh. She was just receptive. She was feminine. She was sweet. She was just like very compliant, very compliant. Happy that I approached her. Um, you know, uh, and yeah, no. So we reached the spot. Of course, they're only. We went in. And I kind of acted a little bit surprised that they're only doing takeouts. I was like, oh shit, they're only doing takeouts. Damn, I thought they'd be open till 8. Um, but they were, they do takeouts from 7:30, and we were just there at 7:30. So, um, yeah, so I ordered, looked at the menu, ordered a pizza. Well, first of all, I said, yo, let's. Well, they're only doing takeouts actually, but I just live like 2 minutes away, so let's have the pizza in my place. And she was like, yeah, she didn't hesitate at all. It's kind of surprising. Some girls will have a little bit of a little bit of hesitation, but she was very on board, very, very compliant. It's just amazing. But you know, that's it. Very, very compliant. She just didn't like. She looked kind of even pleased, that I was taking the initiative. And that's the thing when you when you say these things, when you finally make your move and you're like, okay, let's go to my place, you can't really hesitate to do it. You can't be hesitant, like, because the more hesitation you show, the more nervousness you show, then that's going to rub off on her and make her nervous, and then not make her really. That's not going to turn her on. That's not a turn on for women. For men, to be nervous, that's total turn off. I always use the Sean Connery, I don't know if it's an analogy, but whatever. The image of him, you can't even imagine him being nervous around a chick, that he's trying to bang, like being, oh, would you like to come? Would you like to have pizza at my place? This is like, she's gonna be like, what? This guy's like doesn't have experience. This guy's like, you know, she's instantly just kind of she'll be turned off by it. But you assume that they're going to come with you. That's the way you got to think about it. That you assume that they're just going to comply and come with you, and if they don't, then okay, that's fine. Next, whatever. Um, so yeah, that was that. So we got to we ordered a pizza. Um, Went to the convenience store while they're making the pizza. Got some drinks. And then we just went back to my place. And usually, honestly, if I'm having a girl over for dinner, I'm gonna try and smash. I like to smash before eating pizza. I like to not eating pizza. Who doesn't? But I mean, I like to smash before eating. It's just better. But since it's like a hot, like you don't want to eat a cold pizza, so and I was hungry too, so I decided, okay, we'll eat the pizza. I knew she was down. I pretty 100% sure she was down to smash at this point, even because of how compliant she had been just the whole time. Um, ever since I just opened her, like I knew this girl was very. There's a chance. There's a chance. As soon as I opened this girl, I knew there's a chance I could smash. And like I said, it's when it's the opposite as well. Like a lot of times when I open girls, I know immediately that I'm not gonna smash. Um, but yeah, just we chatted, we ate the pizza. When we finished, I put the put the put the rubbish in the trash, and got close to her. And I talk about how to make a move. Sometimes I say, like, I use the mirror technique. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm sure all you guys in here know about the mirror technique. I ask them how tall they are. I say, I stand up, I take their hand, I walk them in front of the mirror, I get behind them, and I grab their waist and start kissing their neck and that kind of thing. But this girl was so damn compliant from the get-go that I knew that I could just, like, start, touch her hand and just start making out with her. Even though I knew I could just, like, jump right in. you still want to initiate, like you still initiate touch before you go for the kiss because it's just goofy. If you don't initiate touch before you kiss, it's goofy as shit. Like it comes across as awkward. Like if you haven't touched a girl and you're just going for a kiss, it's like what the fuck are you doing? Like she's gonna be like, anyway. I grabbed her hand and started kind of massage her hand for a minute or so, and then just leaned in and started making out with her, and there was absolutely no hesitation. It was awesome. Yeah, probably the hottest girl I smashed this year. Um, you know, it's just like it works. I mean, cold approach works, man. It's just another, like I know it works. I've done it plenty of times, but yesterday was particularly like it just worked so perfectly. I mean, um, yeah, and she was so hot too. Um, but I mean, I know like it's not nothing new. I've done it. I've done that kind of thing plenty of times. I mean, I know a guy in Tokyo that in the month of May alone, like from all from cold approach, they smashed 21 new girls in uh, in the month of in the month of May, and this guy does it's pretty much his like he lives for this. As soon as he gets off work, he goes out and does cold approach like for hours. So he puts in the work. Like I'm not going to be doing that. I teach this stuff. I tell guys that it works and it does work and it's epic and it's better than dating apps. It's like, man, cold approach is like it's just so satisfying too when it works out, especially when you get like a same day lay, like an immediate lay. Um, it's not easy for some guys to do because of logistics and whatever. But if you're living in a city in a reasonably good, like busy, if there's access to busy locations and shopping areas, it's possible. Like it's not only is it possible, it's definitely possible. Like you can definitely get same day lays. Like I mean, like I said, the guy that I know in Tokyo that smashed 21 new chicks in the month of May alone, all of them were same day lays. All of them. Like he doesn't even get the number. Like it's similar to what I just explained, what I did yesterday. It's an immediate, you see a chick, you set up, you immediately, your goal is to smash on that day. And it's people think that's fantasy. It doesn't work. It's like, that's not reality. No, it is reality. And it not only does it work, it absolutely works. It's just a numbers game. You just got to approach the right girl, the right moment. There's so many reasons that, you approach a girl and it's not going to work out, you know, on that day, even if, first of all, your goal is to smash on the day. The girl could be interested in you, but it just could be a thing. Oh, she's going to be meeting friends. That girl that I approached, it was just perfect. She wasn't meeting anyone. She was already going to be going for food. She said she was going to go for ramen. She had no plans that night, and she was interested, and she was receptive. She obviously liked what she saw, um, and it was a good time. It was a really good time, and Viren's yeah, Viren's seen the video. Um, but yeah, so if you want to see more videos like that, get on my premium content because I share more stuff there. But Caffeine God says, "Yo, wild question. I for some reason can't approach girls I'm into. Ugly girls I can approach and flirt with, but girls I'm into make me crack." Well, that's a big problem, isn't it? Because the whole point of cold approach, the whole point of day game is to approach the girls that you're into. Like you have dating apps to get the fucking ugly girls. That's dating apps are shit. Really are shit. I mean, um, it's not that I've gotten with hot girls from dating apps, but it's that the thing I really fucking hate about dating apps is that we have no power as men on dating apps. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but anyway, yeah. So you really want to get over that, and the only way to get over it is to just start going like crack, regardless of cracking or not, you still go for it. Like, you know, I tell guys, like, when you first start getting into day game, when you first start doing cold approach, it's perfectly normal to crack, to have awkward encounters, awkward moments, you feel embarrassed. That's normal. You're building up resistance. The more you do it, you have to. It's like going to the gym. You haven't been to the gym in 6 months. You try and do 10 pull-ups. You're not going to be able to do 10 pull-ups, right? It's the same with cold approach. Like, if you haven't done it, if you haven't gotten in the reps of approaching girls that you're into, like hotties, girls that you're a type, you're not going to have that like charisma. You're not going to have that confidence. You're not going to, but you build it up. The more you do it, you do it once, you'll suck at it. You do it twice, you'll be a bit better. You do it 3 times, you're a little bit better. 4 times, and so on. Obviously, the more you do it, the better you become. Like, even me, I've done thousands of, like, I can't even count how many girls. Obviously, I cannot count how many girls I've approached in my life. Like, it's God only knows. That's it. But the thing is, even at this point in my life, sometimes when I go out on a day game, if I'm doing some coaching with some guys, the first girl I approach, sometimes, I'm so used to it at this point, but there's still that little bit of, you the first girl you approach, you might tiny little bit rusty, and then you just kind of get into the swing of things. But funny thing, like yesterday, it was the only girl I approached, yesterday, and I ended up having like insanely hot fucking sex with her, like really passionate, like hot, like there was like a real good connection too. Not only was she hot, but there was a really fucking viciously hot like attraction between us. I don't know. I don't know if vicious is the right word, but there was an intense. The sex was like hot and intense and sweaty and dirty, and it was good. Type of sex that you need, like, you just, obviously, not only for hygienic reasons, but you just like drenched in sweat. You need to have a shower after each session. I banged her like 3 times in the space of like a few hours. I could have went more, man. I could have went more, but she said she better get home. She left. I think, yeah, she stayed like in my place. I think we got here about 7:30, and she stayed till like midnight. We watched a movie and shit. It was a good time. It was a good time, and it's just fun. It's hilarious that, like, this girl would not even have noticed my existence if I didn't approach her. Like, she wouldn't have, like, first of all, she's looking at her phone. Girls are absorbed in their phones. They're not looking around the world. But there's this idea out there that, if women like you, they'll jump, they'll do anything to put themselves in your way so that they'll attract your attention. It's like, it's fucking bullshit, really. It really is bullshit. That goes back to, like, women. The whole point about day game is that you as a man have the power to go after women that you like. Like, there's waiting for women to acknowledge you, or getting choosing signals or anything like that is totally goes against the whole point of day game. The point of day game, that's just like, these girls, you're approaching girls that, like, they won't even, a lot of time they won't even see you. This girl would not have seen me if I didn't, and even if she did see me, she probably wouldn't have, like, even looked. Girls don't really know what they want. She might have glanced, and that's it. But sometimes they don't really, unless you put yourself in front of them, they don't really know. Like, they don't know if they're gonna like you. They don't really care. I don't know. It's like, girls, they're like an engine. Like, they need to be turned on. So if they're not turned on, Like if you're not turning them on, they're not gonna acknowledge you or whatever. So I put myself in front of her, and she had to notice me, and that's what happened. And if I never approached her, if I hesitated, if I didn't make the approach, I would have, I wouldn't have had it like an epic time, and it was epic. It was. Trust me. Some people say like, oh, it gets boring. Living the player lifestyle gets boring. You know, getting, no, it really doesn't. Like honestly, especially when you're sleeping with real hotties, it doesn't get boring. Gotta say, it's like it hasn't gotten boring yet, right? I'm 32 years old. I don't know. Like I've been doing this for years, so I don't know. Like I'm waiting for it to get boring. I'm waiting for be like, oh, you're gonna want to settle down eventually. You're gonna want a girlfriend. You must be lonely. Oh, you must. I get that. I get that from girls sometimes. Oh, you must be lonely. You sound lonely. And it's like that's projection. That's them projecting their female. Um, they're lonely. They're not really made. Women are not made to live the player lifestyle. Um, Women are not made to live the player lifestyle. A lot of women do, and they project this like, oh, you need a girlfriend, or oh, you need this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, you're projecting your shit. Like I'm a man. I'm a man. I love sleeping with various hot girls. Like I like, variety is the spice of life. Um, I'm going to be all about that, and I don't see that changing ever. As long as my libido remains intact, I don't see that changing. I just don't. I don't think it's like, oh, you're lonely. That's why you want. I'm horny. That's what I am. That's it. Um, Danny says, I'd like to see a collab video with Mac and Troy Francis. That'd be way cool. The Irishman and the Brit going out and cold approaching together in Tokyo. That would be awesome. Good. Yeah, it would. I think Troy wants to come over to Tokyo at some point. I'm not sure with the travel restrictions still, but at some point, definitely going to happen for sure. Would be good. Harry Zickelson House says, day game is where the real game is. Absolutely, man. Like, holy shit. If you saw that, oh man, if you saw the videos I had in my phone right now, I'll show, like, let me see. No, I'm not showing any videos, but yeah, I'll show like this. That was the girl. That was her. Yeah, she was pretty. Yeah, there was nothing wrong with that for sure. But yeah, she was a naughty girl, but it was a good time. But yeah, back to the topic of signs that girls are gonna waste your time or that they're not interested in you. You know, like guys will source girls. You'll go out, maybe get a few numbers. You might find a girl that is your 10 out of 10, and you're like, fuck, I really really want to fuck this girl. She's super hot. And the thing is, some girls will want to keep you on the hook. um uh some girls will want to keep you like as a beta orbiter. So they'll throw out little, you'll message them, you'll send them, whatever. You'll try and arrange a date, and they'll respond like hours later or maybe even a day later. They might leave you on red, you know but they'll respond eventually. These kind of girls, these are the girls that want to keep you on the hook. And these girls are the worst. These girls are the worst because they're fucking with your time. They're leading you on. Obviously this never happens to me, but it used to happen to me because I was naive. I was blue pilled. I didn't understand female nature. I thought, oh, there's a chance, there's a chance, she's fucking me around, but there's a chance. Um, but yeah, these girls are the fucking worst. Honestly, like when a girl is interested, when you approach a girl, you do everything, you do your job as a man. You go out there, you approach girls, whether it's in a bar, where it's in on the street, anywhere. You're getting context, right? You've done your piece. You've hopefully looked your best. You've acted confident. You've done everything, right? You've done everything perfectly. You're going to the gym. You're shredded. You're dressing well. Went up to her. You got a number. You know, what do you do next? You arrange a fucking date, right? If they don't comply with that, then fucking next that bitch. Like, she's wasting your time. If she's responding like late, if she's leaving you on red, if she's leaving you on fucking unread, this girl is not interested in you. She's, you know, she's just messing with your time. And it sounds obvious. I mean, it should be obvious, but a lot of guys just don't acknowledge it. They don't really realize they're kind of like they're not thinking straight. And you have to just obviously act accordingly and source more women. Leave those girls on the back burner. Like, leave them. Like, one good thing I like about Instagram is that you know you shoot your shot. You know, you exchange a contact, and you follow them, they follow you, and then you invite them on a date. You know, and if they leave you on unread or read, after you've uh, messaged them, and you can do one double text like after a few days. There's one double text allowed, and at that point, if she still doesn't respond or leaves you on read or unread, you unfollow her. And you unfollow her. You don't block them. I don't block them. But the reason being, because obviously if there's more chicks following you, obviously it looks better, pre-selection and all that. But another good thing obviously you can do when you're using Instagram and whatnot, if you're posting like high value stories, interesting stories, eating good food, this will give. It's nice when if you. It's kind of like getting revenge on these chicks. Can give. It's happened before. Where chicks have left me on red, left me on unread, and then I'm posting stories of myself working out and uh, you know uh, going for just different stories, going for food, not eating nice food, and these the chicks that left me on red or unread, start reacting to your stories, and it's just like it's funny because I've already unfollowed them. Like I said, I don't block them, but they still follow me, and it's like these girls, like, if I get left on red or unread like by a girl, it's like I'm at a point right now where it's like these if you do that to me, like, it's like you're relegated to like Netflix and chill only because you left me on fucking red, or you didn't respond, or even when they don't respond to your invite, you invited them on a date, and they don't respond, then again you're getting relegated to the Netflix and chill. And I'm aware that not every guy can pull this off because maybe they don't have enough experience. They haven't developed the abundance mindset. They don't have abundance, but you kind of need to build up to it. You need to build up to that level of like not knowing that if all of my roster was finished, like I would start from zero, I'd feel totally comfortable. I'd be like, I watched Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me last night, and he was like, what was it? He finds out his fiance is a robot, and then she explodes, and he's like kind of sad, and then what does he say? And oh, I'm single, baby. It's fucking hilarious. But he's just excited the fact that he's single again. That's like me, right? That's like me. Like not that I'm even in a relationship, but even the idea of just my roster being totally clear, that sounds kind of, it's like a clean slate. Like it's like cool. Like you know, I don't have, I can go and find another hot girl easily. And it's fun. Like the idea of sourcing for me is fun. Some guys see it as a burden. I love it. I mean, like, you have to love it. You have to love it. It's like part of our nature. It's in our male nature to sourcing hotties, man, and getting that satisfaction of having this like intense, like crazy degenerate sex with a girl that you just met, man. Does it get any better? I don't know if it does. I don't know. It's great. Like I always say, I've said it many times. It's not the only thing. Smashing hotties is not the only thing in life, but it sure as hell is one of the best things in life. What is one of the best things? It's not the only thing, but it's definitely one of the best things. Don't listen to these motherfuckers telling you, "Oh, it gets boring. It gets boring." It gets boring if your libido gets fucked up. That's the only way. If your libido is high, if you're healthy, if you you know if you're you should not be getting boring. Trust me. It definitely didn't doesn't. I get high off it. If I have a successful when I get a successful, like, same day lay, it's like it really, like, it's good for your ego. It boosts your ego a lot. Like, it's just it's a fun thing to do. It's like, you know, and most guys probably never, have never done that. And they're missing out. They're missing out big time, because it's not that I'm like physically better than anyone. It's just that I know that it's possible. So many guys out there, they're handsome, they're good looking, they might have good jobs. Everything's good. Like, they're above average guys, but they don't realize things like this are possible. They think it's more complicated than it is, and that's what a lot of very, rationally minded men have a very big problem with. They don't understand the simplicity of it. It's they're overthinking it. They're not able to build rapport because they're not able to have very, easygoing, like, simple conversations. And that's, you really, I don't know, like, when guys come to me with problems like that, it's like I don't know what to say. Like, well, I do know what to say, but it's like, you know, I really try and, bring the point home that it's you really need to build social skills, like be able to speak, be able to talk, like, in a casual, relaxed, fun manner. Um, because being all serious and all stoic and all, like, that's just like, it's just honestly, to be honest, it's gonna turn chicks off. It's gonna, like, maybe it might even scare them if you're, like, being real, like, you just put yourself in front of them and, like, you're not easy going. You're not able to, just shoot the shit with them. A lot of the times it's like just the conversations I'd have with these girls are kind of like, just nonsensical, kind of goofy. They're not really, you have your male friends. If you want to get into deep philosophical conversations about crypto and, politics and all that, you have your male friends for that. But uh, yeah. So yeah. But another thing is, if women are not, another thing I come across with women that are not interested is when they don't comply. You know, so like I said, they might give you their number. They might share their Instagram. You get their contact, whatever. They're responsive, but they're not compliant. So they might say, "Oh, actually, I'm busy this month." So they're responsive to your messages, but they say something ridiculous like, "I'm busy this month," and it might be whatever. It might be the start of the month, and she's like, "I'm busy this month." Okay, bitch. Like, All right, good luck. You get you don't need to block her, you don't need to delete her, but you you know it's possible that she may fall, but at best, she sees you as an option. Remember that. Like, if girl does something like that, pulls something like, "Oh, I'm busy this month," and doesn't give any explanation as to why she's busy this month, she doesn't try and make an effort as to, because that's like, what the fuck? Like, how am I gonna expect me to like hit you back in a month? Like, even remember you in a month? Like, what the fuck? A month's a long time, like, for chicks to be making you wait, like, a really long. You got to be real busy if you can't find the time in a month. I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you're pretty busy. You know, uh, so yeah, that's a thing that I come across a lot. Chicks will tell me they're busy this month, and it'll be the start of the month, and it's like, okay, bitch, I know what time it is. um, you know, and you can keep these girls, like I said, you can keep these girls if you. That's why it's worth, my Instagram, right? My Instagram is it's a sourcing tool, and it's not even that good, but I share, it's a private Instagram. Specifically, it's not even it's the hot dude Instagram, but I have it on private, and I just use it for sourcing chicks. And you know it's not public, it's private. And but the thing is, I share stories. Like, I try and share high value stories, like stories that, especially showing my physique, showing myself work out, showing myself eating good food, doing cool things. And it's funny because it does give some of the girls that have rejected me in the past some FOMO, and that's very, very, very satisfying. It's like, fuck you, bitch! Like, you're relegated to Netflix and chill. And you can. The thing is, if they realize that they kind of missed out, you can end up smashing some of the girls that didn't, initially, uh, show interest or didn't comply at the start. But then when they see you, when they start seeing, like, they start seeing you, start maybe see that you have a real nice six pack, or they start seeing that they can become more attracted to you if you share good content. And that's funny, but it's satisfying. Um, yeah, there's another thing. What else is the other thing? It's when girls, yeah, another one is when they don't comply by agreeing to meet you at your desired location. When girls start trying to call the shots, when girls start trying to, say, "Oh, meet me at this location instead," or "I want to go to this restaurant," or "Let's have lunch, let's have dinner." Start trying to call the shots. You might not even want to go for dinner. You know what I mean? Um, that's another indicator that she's like, okay, you want to ask, how old is this girl? Is this girl, I've talked before about, the difficulty of dating, of, gaming girls by age bracket. Very true. Like, you know, if it turns out a girl is 29 years old, and she's asking you to meet her halfway at this a certain restaurant, it's like, bitch, like, I know what time it is. You're trying to, like, you're trying to finesse me, and you're trying to get dates out of me, and you're looking for a husband, and that's not what I'm about. So good luck. Um, but it just goes. It happened here. Let me maybe read this one out. Um, let me see. Uh, okay. So I'm in a, I source this girl. I'm in a bar. I get her Instagram, in and out. Nothing, as usual. Like, it's really not a big deal. So so I hit her up. I say, "How are you?" Wink face. She says, "I'm good. You?" I say, "Me too. Are you free for a drink tonight?" Straight to the point. I'm like, boom. Like, "Are you free for a drink tonight?" She says, "Sorry, I'm a bit busy." Dot dot dot. Ugh. Like, fair enough. It's like, I'm asking her for a drink tonight. She says she's busy, but a better sign would have been if she said, "Sorry, I'm a bit busy. Um, sorry, I'm a bit busy. How about next week?" That's when a girl is down. That's when a girl really likes you. But it doesn't mean she's completely out. So I said, "When are you free?" A better thing I could have a better thing I could have said would have been, are you free next? Be specific. Usually, you should be. I should have been specific, but I'm not perfect. She says, when were you thinking? I said tomorrow. So I said tomorrow evening. She says, oh, got plans. Crying face. That's kind of indicator of interest because she's like showing like that she's sad that she's busy. So I said again, so tell me when you are free. So she said Thursday. So she said Thursday. So I said, are you free on Thursday afternoon? I actually had plans on Thursday. So I said so she said, oh yeah, she said, no, I'm working during the daytime. I want to, sometimes a lot of guys, I know, just a side topic, a lot of guys think, oh, if I do an afternoon date, I can't get laid. It's like, you can, like, it doesn't, for me, there's no difference. Like, equal chance. You can do an afternoon lay as much as you can do a nighttime lay. Like, I've done both. Like, you just follow the same blueprint. Like, it's no different. It's just daytime. Like, the same thing. You try and you go for coffee or drink. You bring them back to yours after, and you smash. Like, it doesn't matter if it's daytime or nighttime. So yeah. So yeah, she said. Yeah, I was busy. I was. Yeah. Anyway, so she said. I said, how about Saturday afternoon? Because Thursday didn't work. Uh, so she said, can do Saturday afternoon. I said, okay, cool, 2 p.m. My station. How does that sound? And she says, can we meet at Yoyogi Omotesando area? It's a completely different area from where I live, from the spot that I suggested, that I said. And so that's a sign that she's she's trying to finesse me. So I just said, maybe. How old are you, by the way? Because I wasn't sure actually how old she was. So I want to check out. So I just like bluntly kind of threw the spanner in there, and she said, almost 25. You? So I said, I'm 32. There's a nice restaurant here in my area. You should come here, wink face. So I'm letting her know what time it is. I'm letting her know what's up. And she says, sorry, I don't think I have enough time to go there. So I said, we should meet when we have time to relax. Let's have dinner at Musashi Koyama when you have time. I probably should have said, drinks or whatever. Like I always say, usually it's better, to go for drinks or coffee. But anyway, she said, okay, let me know when you have time to relax in Asagaya too. Haha. So that's maybe the place where she lives. So yeah, she's not compliant, basically. The reason I read that out is to demonstrate how non-compliant she is. So she's relegated to, she's put on the back burner. She can watch my story. She might come around, but I'm not going to be messaging her again. She can watch. She'll be watching my stories. Trust me, and she'll realize that she should have come around, because I am not gonna be going to. I don't need to be going to out of my area, and I know what time it is. When I do that, you're delaying the process, and it's just I will say this though, you can only kind of do these things when you get to a certain level, and you really do have genuine abundance, and you really do know that you can source other chicks. Like if you're starting off and you haven't had dates in months and whatnot, I'm not saying just you you're probably going to have to take that date. Like but just know that the chances of getting laid, when you have to go to, when they're not complying, and you have to, go come to a compromise, and go and meet them halfway, or at a spot that she suggested, you're not you're not going to get laid on the first date, and you might not get laid at all. But sometimes when you don't have experience with women, you need to build up that you need to build up those social skills, and learn how to go on dates, and learn how to use them as practice sessions, as for, and it's not that you can't get laid from going on those dates, but it's just like, the chances of getting laid on the first date are severely, like, diminished when they don't come to your area. So yeah, that's just an example of what happens, and yeah, like I said, she'll be on the back burner for a while, or for good, until she either comes around, you know. With that girl, it's in my area or nowhere. That's it. We're not meeting, or we're gonna meet in my area. Like, I'm the one, you know. I'm the one that's gonna be, paying for drinks. I'm the one that approached you. I'm the one that's inviting you on a date. Like, I'm not. You're not inviting me on a date. I'm inviting you to come here. So I'm not gonna compromise and go to where you live. Yeah, I'm not going to go, like, to a place that you suggest. I'm the one that approached you. I'm the one that's asking you, do you want to come here? If you don't want to come, that's fine. Like, I'll find plenty that will. So that's the mindset you have to have. Um, but yeah, let me just see if there's any. Let me share something. Share screen. Okay, so I just found this, and see if there's anything relevant to what I'm saying. 15 signs a girl will waste your time. Okay, just go through these quickly. I'm not going to read it all, but I just want to read the headings. She's in party mode. Yeah, if you're on a night out and a girl is, like, partying with her friends, and she's, like, clearly it's kind of like a girls' night out. Yeah, chances are, yeah, she's not going to come home with you, because she's with all her friends, and she's not going to want to look like a garden tool, even though all that shit is kind of celebrated. Even though, being a garden tool is celebrated these days, but for men, as soon as a man, like, exercises his you know his male imperative, he's deemed, oh, he's a fuck boy, oh, he has Peter Pan syndrome. And it's like, yeah, but if a woman goes out and bangs a lot of dudes, she's like, oh, she's independent, oh, she's all this bullshit. But number two, she resists simple compliance. Yeah, and that's just what I talked about. Girl resists your compliance, is resisting your, compliance, then not good. Have some points there, like giving you her hand. Obviously that's a bad one. That's very, like, if a girl does this to me, all right, I'm out. Like, I'm out. Like, I'm not into it. No way. Turning her body toward you, telling you a little about herself, moving a few feet with you when asked to, showing you that item of hers you asked. I don't know. Anyway, girl, if you approach a girl and she's kind of like giving you answers, right? But she's kind of like backing away from you. That makes me want to stop talking to them immediately, because it's kind of insulting the way it happens in Tokyo. But girls they'll constantly kind of like edge away from you, and it's insulting. Like, it's like she's kind of, and it's but it can be confusing because sometimes they can talk back to you, and it's like they can, but like I always say, it's not what they say, it's how they react. It's their body language. It's like their smile. It's all that. Like like I said, a girl could be kind of like responding to your questions, and you think, oh, she might be a little bit interested, but her body language is horrible. Like she's horrible. She's kind of backing away from you, and she's edging away. She's literally kind of walking away from you. It just yeah. I usually abort those from those situations. It's just honestly, it irks me too. It's really annoying. But yeah, it is what it is. 3, she's not looking to date right now. Yeah, who says I'm looking to date night right now, bitch? Like, you know what I mean? So girls will say this, and it's funny. It's hilarious. It's so like, but I know what it means. It means I'm not into you. I'm not. Um, or it's even funnier when it's like I'm not looking for a boyfriend right now. It's like, bitch, I'm not looking for a girlfriend right now. But I know what it means. It means I'm not into you. And number 4, she's kind of seeing someone. Yeah, she's kind of banging a few different guys. That's what that means. But yeah, anytime a girl tells me she has a boyfriend or she's if she says she's kind of seeing someone, I just say I don't give a fuck. Who cares? He's not gonna find out. Yeah, it's because some girls will say it as a shit test. And when I say something like that, uh, you can pass the shit test if you're just like, I don't give a goddamn shit. Number 5, she's a big flirt. Sometimes when girls are like too flirtatious or too, I've noticed when girls are sometimes too overtly sexual, that it can actually be the opposite. They can actually be very prudish when it comes to having sex. Um, Number 6, she just wants to be friends. Well, I mean that's the biggest insult of all. That's an insult. She sees you like, if a girl tells you she just wants to be friends, like, I don't know what you're doing. You need to exit, you know, exit all communication with that girl, because let her know like you're not like, no, I'm not being friends with you. You're not my friend. 7, she does the thing on opening. I'm not sure about this one. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not. It's too much to read there, but I'm not sure if I've noticed that one. Um, I haven't. I haven't. Maybe it's a Western thing. I don't notice girls in Japan going 8. Her friends have an iron grip on her. Yeah, her friends will. That's an obvious one with nightlife. You'll get cock blocked. It's kind of the same thing with the party mode. She's in party mode. If a girl's on a girls' night out, I don't know. The best thing you can do is, I don't know, bounce in, get her contact. But the worst thing about getting contacts on a night out is that she's gonna exchange contacts with a bunch of other guys too. So that's why nightlife kind of sucks, especially these days. Um, the reason I like nightlife personally is because the immediacy of it. You can get quite sexual very quickly, but getting contacts can often be futile because girls can drink too much. They might not even remember who you are. They might not remember your contact, and they're just getting all this bullshit. They're getting a lot of attention from other guys. With day game, with cold approach, and in daytime, they're gonna remember you for sure. Like, even if they don't like you, she's gonna remember that some guy approached her, and she's gonna remember you. That's the best thing. That's why day game is awesome. It's king. Cold approach is king. Like, so good. It's just the best way to source hot women, man. It's like, fuck, man. It really is good. 10, she's really busy right now. Yeah. Same thing as when they're like, I'm busy this month. It's like, bitch, like, you're not busy for the entire month. It's like, it's just their way of telling you This is what they say when they want to keep you as a beta orbiter. That's what they say. They want to keep you just like keep you on the hook. Free attention. Don't give her any free attention. 11. Her phone is busted. Uh, yeah, her phone is busted. Yeah, that's a real obvious or like thing in Japan is or same thing as her phone is busted. She doesn't have Instagram. They all have fucking Instagram, right? And then you say, oh right, okay, well, do you have Line or WhatsApp? And they say they don't. It's okay, abort, like abort. If they don't, like, you can abort the situation if they say they don't have Instagram almost, but there's a chance she might not have it. So you can just say, all right, what's your if a Japanese girl, we use Line in Japan. If a Japanese girl says she doesn't use Line, absolutely abort. Like, just stop talking to her immediately. Like that's what I do. I would immediately just, man. It's because it's insulting. It's like it's a bald faced lie. It's like really like it's an outrageous lie, and she absolutely has Line. Um, yeah. So 12, she wants to trade social media accounts. This one, I don't know. Social media, no, you can. I wouldn't say that's a sign that she is wasting your time, especially these days. Girls will want to check out what you see if you have an interesting profile. It's just for me is I've banged plenty of girls that wanted to exchange Instagram. Um, it doesn't necessarily mean she's wasting your time, in my opinion. And I'm not going to read all of it, but maybe he goes into more detail about it. 13. Her boyfriend's draped all over her. Well, obviously, if she has a boyfriend, but uh, yeah, if I wouldn't. I'm not going to be. If the girl is in a venue with her boyfriend, uh, I'm not going to get involved. Really, like, I mean, I, there's been times where memorable time that I kind of interfered with the girl, and when she was with the guy, I don't think it was her boyfriend, but I remember I was in a bar. I've told this story before, but I was on my way out of the bar. I was with MLD and another friend of his, and we're leaving the bar, and this hot girl standing by the door, and there's some guy, has his arms wrapped around her, and he's really like, I don't know. It was just a real hardcore mismatch. Hardcore because she was really hot and he was not a hot dude. Like, really, really not. Like, punching way, way above his weight. But anyway, she was giving me a lot of heavy choosing signals. Like, heavy, heavy. I was wearing sunglasses and she was too. And just walking out, said, "I like your sunglasses." The guy had his arms around her like that from behind. The guy, anyway, and she said, like she's like jumped, like she's like jumped up and said, "Oh, I like yours too." And I said, I didn't touch her. I was like, let's go, let's have a drink. We're going to another bar. And she kind of tried to pull away from him, and he was holding on tight. And then at that point, when I saw her trying to pull away from him, I kind of just took her hand and pulled her out the door and immediately and took her straight home and smashed her. I didn't even go to another bar with her, but that's kind of a different scenario. But yeah, I don't go looking that's the way you get your ass beat or you get, I don't know, you get into fights, but you don't need that shit. 14, she's done with the hookup scene. Yeah, this is like post-wall shit. It's like, okay, bitch, right. So you gave away all this free pussy, and now you want the free date. Now you want these like dinner dates and fancy shit when you're like you're less hot, you're less attractive, you're asking for more. I've made this analogy before. It's like, it's like asking for full price for a beat up 1994 Ford Fiesta. It's like you're asking for the price of a Ferrari for a beat up 1994 Ford Fiesta that's a wreck, Might be, some girls can, when they're in, obviously I'm kind of using exaggerating, but and so in some cases not, but some girls can obviously still be hot in their late 20s, early 30s, but they're not nowhere near as hot as they were when they were 21 and when they were giving away like free pussy, one night stands, like, for nothing. And it's just so fucking ironic that they're in worse condition and they're asking for more. They're asking for, I'm done. And they just have a complete fucking misunderstanding of male nature. They have a complete misunderstanding of it. They have a real misunderstanding of it. It's just so fucking innocent. This is what's fucking up the, like, the whole, women just don't get it. They just do not get it. And they're in for a real rude awakening, really rude awakening, because, it's in our nature as men, especially if you're doing well in life, especially if you're like, to source, young, fertile, beautiful women. And like, you can, like I said, you can be beautiful when you're in your late 20s, but you're still only kind of good for a pump and dump, because men kind of want, it's hardwired into our brains, to want the fertile, even if we don't want to we don't actually want to reproduce. If we don't want to have kids, it's still hardwired in our brains to want the, young 21-year-old beauty queen. Um, you know, but yeah, that's just funny. 15, she gets weird when you ask her home. Yeah, non-compliance. Some girls will have the shit test, They'll they'll give you a shit test. But if they act all surprised and like, oh my god, like, oh, you're asking, oh, like, that's weird. Like, get the fuck out. What do you think? What do you think this is about? Like, why do you think I asked you out? Like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what? You think I'm just trying to be mates with you? Like, of course I'm asking you home. Of course I'm trying to close. But obviously you don't like act like that. But in your brain, you're like, what? Of course. Like, if a girl, acts all weirded out, like, I don't do this, or like, yeah, she's not that interested. Like, you're looking for compliance. These compliant girls are out there, guys. They're out there. Just fucking get out there, put in the reps. You will find girls that, the funny thing is about day game, I could approach like 10 ugly girls that I'm not into, and they'll all reject me. But then I can go out and approach way, way hotter girls, like really hot girls, maybe even like yesterday, one approach, and, I can take them home and have a good time. So it really does amount to just looking for those, receptive, body language signals when you first approach. You got to be looking for that, because when they're not there, oftentimes, you're being. It's like predicting the future when you don't see those not choosing signals, but you don't see that positive receptivity. It's, yeah. Oftentimes, there's not much you can really do. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna cut it there. As usual, like, comment, subscribe. It's Friday here, so I'll be back on Monday night, 9 p.m. Standard Time, for another episode of Player Life. Yeah, so thanks for joining the show. Have a good weekend, and check out the links in the description. So peace out, guys. Bye bye.